Hi everyone. I needed an excuse to rewatch each Star Wars one more time, so I've asked myself the following question. What's the funniest scene of the saga? Cause sure, Star Wars is a tale of epic adventure and tragedy, but it is also blessed with some golden comedic moments. So I picked one for each episode, which will form my personal selection, so let me know in the comments what would be yours. And so we begin with episode 1, which of course when we talk comedy is kinda annoying. Yeah, Jar Jar was one of the first characters dealing with such an intense hate, and the redemption offered to his actor, Ahmed Best, is among the best things that happened with Star Wars under Disney. But to be honest, I gotta say that I genuinely like Jar Jar, since he marked my childhood. So in remembering of those days, and let's face it, also because of nostalgia, I want to pick him for episode 1. Plus, the guy has always been truly funny in behind-the-scenes material. I reckon my favorite joke from the Duncan is at this moment that encapsulates pretty well how he's always off the mark.
Oh, giving up, General Jar Jar. Lisa, think of something.
Hands up. I give up. I give up.
Then, episode 2. That one is also full with polarizing sequences. But on the other hand, Obi-Wan has matured and is now a master of sarcasm.
Good job.
He delivers a ton of meme-worthy lines.
You want to buy some death sticks?
You don't want to sell me death sticks.
I don't want to sell you death sticks.
You want to go home and rethink your life.
I want to go home and rethink my life.
But what I prefer is when he bluffs Kaminoans.
200,000 units are ready, with 1 million more well on the way.
That's good news.
The way he fakes control while clearly having no idea what's going on gets me every time.
He would have been proud of the army we've built for him.
The army. That's good news.
Now, episode 3. That one is a bit trickier, since as a final act of a tragedy, it has less comedic scenes, so they're mainly in the opening.
This is where the fun begins.
True, there's this delightful scene of Yoda, but I think it's more badass funny than comedic, to be honest. Obi-Wan is still at the top of his game.
Not to worry, we are still flying half a ship.
Hello there.
But I'd rather go for that scene. Let me explain you why. Even though it's not really deep, I mean R2 just bumps into a wall, producer Rick McCallum said this.
This is, I've seen it, and I've seen the film in about 9 countries.
People love that bit.
They just love it. This is their favorite moment. Yeah. I mean, within the first half hour of the movie, that's it.
So for once, I'll defer to the experts. This scene is rightfully the funniest in Revenge of the Sith.
Wait a minute. How did this happen? We're smarter than this.
Apparently not.
Alright, we're getting to episode 4. I'm happy because it's one of the funniest to me, but I'm also a bit bothered since now that we're in the original trilogy, it's gonna be hard not to give Han's line for each movie. Ford explained how important was his character as he's the only cynical one questioning this universe, thus making him the closest character to the viewer's perspective.
Still out of spirit. What do you think? Do you think a princess and a guy like me?
No.
It is important to know that just before the shooting, George Lucas handed his script to the Hulk couple, screenwriters' friends who polished the dialogues to make them snappier and more natural. Among them, Han's scene in the detention center.
Everything's under control, situation normal.
What happened?
Had a slight weapons malfunction, but everything's perfectly all right now. We're fine, we're all fine here now, thank you. How are you?
We're sending a squad up.
Negative. We have a reactor leak here now. Give us a few minutes to lock it down. Large leak, very dangerous.
Who is this? What's your operating number?
Boring conversation anyway.
For real, those sharp lines along with force delivering gets me every time.
For rescuer, the reward would be...
What?
Well, more wealth than you can imagine.
I don't know, I can imagine quite a bit.
You'll get it.
Even the deleted scenes are pure gold.
But they're gonna kill her!
Better her than me.
No, hon. I've seen her. She's so beautiful.
So is life.
Episode 5. How to top a smart, fast-talking smuggler. Maybe you need someone with more experience. How about an 800 years old guy? Yoda is just perfect when he plays the eccentric old creature. And props to the puppeteer Frank Oz for bringing so much life to a simple piece of rubber.
R2!
I think my favorite moment of him is when he introduces himself, and most of all, that quick shot on Luke's face, questioning what kind of senile alien he just found.
Looking? Found someone you have, I would say.
Right.
Then I'm sorry, I just can't resist. Han and Leia's banter is on another level on this episode. So here's a quick bonus mashup for their electric alchemy.
Would it help if I got out and pushed?
Captain Turner! Captain Turner!
Mike!
Sir, it's quite possible this asteroid is not entirely stable.
Not entirely stable. I'm glad you're here to tell us these things. Chewie, take the professor in the back and plug him into the hyperdrive. Let's get out of here!
If I were still out there, I don't think it's
No
wise
time to discuss this in committee!
I am not a committee!
Watch this.
Watch what?
Freeze!
We're reaching the end, episode 6 now. Han is back from Carbonite, and his sense of humor returns even sooner than his sight.
I think my eyes are getting better. Instead of a big dark blur, I see a big light blur. There's nothing to see. I used to live here, you know. You're gonna die here, you know. Convenient.
However, we've not mentioned our lovely droids yet, but they definitely have a spot in the pantheon of cult comedic duo.
Go that way. You'll be malfunctioning within a day, you nearsighted scrap pile. And don't let me catch you following me, begging for help, because you won't get it.
And on Endor, when 3PO's naivety faces Solo's phrasing, the result is quickly hilarious.
Well, why don't you use your divine influence and get us out of this?
I beg your pardon, General Solo, but that just wouldn't be proper.
Proper?
It's against my programming to impersonate a deity.
Again, watch for Luke's amused little smirk that magnifies the situation. Alright, that's it with come full circle. Again, I won't be analyzing Disney's movies, cause I'm not fond of them. I would even say that the way they handle humor is one of the redemptory flow of the sequels, whose tone is too Marvel-like for me. I hope you've enjoyed the video and learned some bits about Star Wars production. If you're interested in those behind-the-scenes stuff, check out the documentaries I made on the channel. Now we have a lovely selection. You might have guessed that I'm a huge Solo's fan, so I picked his scene in the Death Star as a winner. See you next time.
Boring conversation anyway.